So now that we're moving on with the Sonic retrospective, we're taking a trip to the SEGA Game Gear for that version of Sonic 1. Now from a glance you might just think that it's the Genesis version but with lesser graphics, but it's actually its own experience after Green Hill Zone. And even then Green Hill Zone has different level design, so it's also different. But aside from Green Hill, there are only two returning stages in this version, which we'll get there when we get there. But you know, this is still a good version of Sonic 1. Still fast. Still got, you know, decent platforming. All of the items returned from Sonic 1. Unless maybe Power Sneakers, I don't think I've ever seen them in this game. I think if they are in this game, then they're really rare. So something that 8-bit Sonic games do is, what shows up on the gold plate will determine what kind of bonus you get or something. 8-bit Sonic 1 you can get Robotnik, which if you get him, you just won't get anything. If you get an exclamation point, you can only do that if you have at least 50 rings, but you'll get sent to a special stage. And ring, I think if you get a ring on the gold plate, it'll just give you 10 rings. You don't get Chaos on most of these special stages though. So I'm sure you're wondering, well, if I don't do it that way, how do I get them? Well, I'm not joking, you just have to go and find them throughout the zone. Like they're just hidden somewhere, so there's a little more exploration in this version than there is in the Genesis version. Yeah. That monitor with a down arrow, that's a checkpoint. And I'm sure you know what a checkpoint is. But you know, Sonic can roll and jump into enemies. His moveset is pretty much the same. That's the first emerald of the game for Green Hill. It's in Act 2. For some reason they're all blue in this version, I don't know why. It's probably due to color limitations for the Game Gear. Aside from Green Hill, every zone has different music too. But this is a nice 8-bit version of Green Hill, which I do very enjoy. Yeah, if you can go down a slope in this game, you can just obliterate the levels. So the special stages in this game, since you aren't shooting for a Chaos Emerald, basically it's just like a big pinball type area where you're bouncing around, you're just trying to get rings and stuff, and continues if you're like low on lives or something. Yeah, so you're just bouncing around trying to get as many rings. I hit that box over there which doesn't continue. It just says CONT on it, which I'm not going to try and pronounce, because if I did try to pronounce it, I'd probably have to mark the video as not for kids, or like put an age restriction on it, which I don't really want to do. Act 3, which is different from the console version. In the console version, like, it was a full level and then the boss is at the end, but in this version, it's a very small platforming section and then the boss. They don't give you any rings for some reason. Like, every single boss, they don't give you a single ring. But he doesn't even have a attack in this, in the Green Hill boss. He doesn't have the Wrecking Ball from the Genesis version. But still, you gotta hit him 8 times and he's down. It's pretty simple. And then hit the capsule and the zone's over. So you know, Green Hill's fine. So in the Genesis version, the second zone would actually be Marble Zone, but in the Game Gear version, it's Bridge Zone. And I don't know if you saw this coming, but it's a bridge. Like, I never would have suspected that. Also, for some reason, the badniks are like super small in this version. But Bridge Zone, it's a bridge. something weird is the curved bridges like that one, they don't collapse, but the straight ones, they do collapse when you run on them. There are these teeter-totters, kind of like the Starlight ones from the Genesis. But you don't have to keep switching sides, you just stay on one side and then you'll get enough height to go to the next platform. That was a leap of faith. This game has a thing for putting you on moving platforms over bottomless pits. If you can get enough height right here and then go over here, there's a life monitor. That Chaos Emerald, you're probably wondering how am I gonna get that? Well, just stand on this bridge and then wait for it to collapse before it kills you, and then jump over there to get the emerald. You really gotta use your brain for some of the emeralds in this game. Not a lot of them though. These special stages I'm just gonna try and blow through because I don't really care about getting lives and stuff. They do give you plenty of time to get however many rings you want. I'm not sure, but I think if you don't reach the end before the timer runs out, all your rings won't count, but I'm not sure on that. The thing is with Bridge Zone Act 2 is it's a auto-scroller, which is very counterintuitive with Sonic, because you know Sonic's all about you trying to improve your times and go as fast as you can, because you're Sonic, he's the fastest thing alive. But no, you're supposed to slow down and take it at the level space, which somebody at SEGA realized that wasn't a good idea because we didn't see it return until Forces. But it isn't bad here, you know. Just don't start going until enough of the screen shows that it's like you can see what you're gonna jump into before you actually do it. It's not a bad level. It's pretty relaxing, I guess. Well, not so much relaxing, just toned down. Alright then. I was hoping I could jump, like, just at the right spot so I wouldn't hit his spikes, but I'd hit his head. But that didn't work out. And plus, I didn't have enough room to roll into him. But yeah, most of the badniks from the Genesis version return in this version. Like the, that Spring Yard badnik. Again, the shield, ring monitors, life monitors, and invincible monitors return. I will say this version does have good music for it being on, you know, 8-bit hardware. Oh, this stupid badnik again. Yeah, there we go. Thing is with the Chaos Emeralds in this game, there isn't a consistent, like, act that they'll show up on. Because in Green Hill they're in Act 2, and then Bridge and the next zone they're in Act 1. And then the 2 zones, or I think 3 zones after that, they're all in Act 2, so it's like, you know, make up your mind. Again, curved ones don't collapse. Make sure you don't fall into the water if you're trying to get that life. Yeah, so, you know, it's not as fast as Genesis one, but it's still fun. I do have a much greater appreciation of this game than when I played it the first time. But yeah, that's the end of Act 2. I have 75 rings, so we gotta go through another special stage. Can I just go through this one? I'm stuck. Okay, here we go. Uh-oh, I'm stuck. I don't know how to get out of here. Okay, here we go. Sometimes you could just completely clip through the bumpers. Which isn't something you want to happen. So the boss for Bridge, first time playing it might be kind of annoying. There's a life here, by the way. But once you know what you're doing, it's pretty simple. In the Sega Master System version, it's way different. Not that different, but it's harder. So it'll show up on either side, and then it'll shoot 3 energy balls on the other side. All you gotta do is keep bouncing on them, and if you think you're gonna face through them like I did there, just hold down. Which I did, but didn't do. Also, that shouldn't have killed me, I had a shield. But it doesn't matter. Okay, I don't know what happened to that sprite right there. So you can get 3 hits on him. I definitely jumped there. We gotta play this boss another time. What? The last time I played this, I did not have this issue with this boss. Okay, we'll just go for 2 hits on one side then. God, that was close. Oh my god. The thing I hate with the bosses where they shoot like projectiles is it's so hard to determine where you should go if you want to avoid, like, you don't know if you should position yourself here so you could just duck down and not get hurt, or if you just jump to this side. It's so hard to predict. Like, see, he shoots right where it's curved at the bottom, so I have no idea how to like jump, or if I should just. These bosses do have their problems. Finally. But yeah, that's it for Bridge Zone. Just hit the capsule and it's done. Next video I'll tackle the next 2 zones in the game.